Okay, let's try and find the intervals of increasing, decreasing for the function g at wrong color. For the function g at x is equal to x cubed minus 5x squared plus 6x all over x squared minus 6x. And in a previous tutorial, or even just by looking at it, you can see that an x cancels out in every term. So that implies that there's a whole at 0, but that's not going to affect the derivative. So we can simplify this to x squared minus 5x plus 6 all over x minus 6. Okay, and now to take the derivative of this, set it equal to 0 and solve so that we can find our critical numbers. We can see that f is equal to x squared minus 5x plus 6, and g is equal to x minus 6. So this is going to be quotient row, right? So f prime is 2x minus 5. G prime is going to be 1. So our derivative, first derivative, is going to be f prime g, so 2x minus 5 times x minus 6 minus g prime f, so 1 times x squared minus 5x plus 6. And that's all going to be over x minus 6 squared. Okay, and we can, there's nothing to factor up top, so we can expand and simplify the bottom, or expand and simplify the top here to get 2x squared from 2x to x. 2x times negative 6 is negative 12x. We'll get a minus 5x plus 30, and then minus x squared plus 5x minus 6, and that's all over x minus 6 squared. When we simplify up top, we can see that a negative 5x and a 5x will cancel out. So we are left with x squared minus 12x, and then plus 30 and minus 6 is going to be minus 24. And that's going to be all over x minus 6 squared. So we would set that equal to 0 and solve. Now you'll notice that this, for solving, this doesn't matter. Like usual, we're only solving the top equal to 0. And this does not factor anymore, otherwise it would have already factored it. So in order to solve this, we have a quadratic. We're going to have to use quadratic formula. I've actually already done the work for that, and when you type it into quadratic formula, you get x is equal to 12 plus or minus the square root of 48 all over 2, which of course you can pop a 4 out of the 48 to get, so if you pop a 4 out, that leaves you with a 2 on the outside, and for the 48 divided by 4 is going to be 12 all over 2, so it reduces to 6 plus or minus root 12. So that is our critical value. Now we have two of them, 6 plus root 12 and 6 minus root 12. And it might be helpful to know in the future, when we use it, what 6 plus root 12 actually is as a decimal, so we know where it is, and what 6 minus root 12 is as a decimal. And it turns out that 6 plus root 12 is 2.53, and 6 plus root 12, so I don't know if I said, yeah, oops, no. It might be helpful for us to figure out what this is as a decimal. So let's figure out what 6 minus root 12 is, and let's figure out what 6 plus root 12 is. I type it into my calculator, and for 6 minus root 12, I get 2.53, and for 6 plus root 12, I get 9.46. And so those are our two critical values. Okay, so let's move on to step 2, and we'll figure out our intervals. Let's plot the domain and the critical values on a number line. So let me draw the number line here. We can see from our domain that it's only from, we're only missing 6 because of the because of the vertical asymptote there. And then for our critical values, we have 6 minus root 12, which is over here, because we figured out what it was as a decimal. And then 6 plus root 12 is about 9.46, so it's off to the right. Whoops. Okay, so we can see our intervals. We have 4 of them here, right? So now that since we know it as a decimal, it's easier to pick numbers into the first. We're moving on to step 3, by the way. So we can sub in our test values into the first derivative. For this interval, let's choose 0. 0 is always a nice number to sub in. So that's to the left of 2.43. Sorry, 2.53. Now we need a number between 2.53 and 6. So let's choose 3. The smaller the number, usually the easier it is to work with. Then between 6 and 6 plus root 12, I'm going to go with 7. And then beyond 6 plus root 12, I'm going to go with 10. Okay, so let's figure out what that's going to look like and whether we're going to get positive or negative answers. Let's start with 0. So if I plug in 0 into the first derivative, so I'm going to get 0 squared minus 12 times 0 plus 24 all over 0 minus 6 squared. So let's analyze whether we're going to get a positive or a negative answer. On the bottom, you can see that we have a square, so that's going to be nice because no matter what, we're going to get a positive. So we only really care about the top then. On the top for 0, you can see you get 0 from here, 0 from here, but then you get a positive 24. So this is a plus sign, poorly written one, sorry. And so you're going to get a positive 24 when you sub in, so you get a positive answer. Therefore, it's increasing over that interval. So I'm going to put a positive up here. When I sub in 3, I'm going to get on the top, I'm going to get 3 squared, which is 9. So I'll write it down what I'm doing. F at 3 is going to be 9. We're going to get minus 36 and then plus 24. 9 and 24 make 33, and then 33 minus 36 is negative 3. So we get a negative up top, and again, we're going to get a positive on the bottom, all because we're squaring it in the bottom. So we get a negative over all. So we get a negative interval or a decreasing interval. When we sub in 7 into here, we're going to get 7 squared, which is 49. 7 times negative 12 is negative 84. Negative 84 plus 24 is negative 60. So negative 60 and 49 make negative 11. So if you didn't follow along with that, sorry, it was pretty quick there. And not really that clear. But you get a negative up top, and then you get a positive on the bottom still. So it's going to be a negative interval here. And for f prime at 10, you're going to get a positive when you sub in. So in conclusion, what do we get? For increasing, we can see that that's going to be the left interval and the right interval. So that's going to be from negative infinity to 6 minus root 12, union with 6 plus root 12 to infinity. And then for our decreasing interval, which I'll just move this up a little bit, for our, a little too far. For our decreasing interval, we get the 2 center ones. So that's going to be 6 minus root 12 to 6, union with 6 to 6 plus root 12. And there's your answer. What you waiting for? Move, keep them going till your life is overflowing, yeah. I do a dance of victory, 'cause now I'm living good, no I'm not living like I used to be. Now talk about things, talk about my mind, now I'm free from the worry